all these are cars that should have been sent to Nigeria. These cars are in Germany here. That's a Mercedes, that's another Mercedes. I don't know, 112 CDI. I'm not so sure what model is. That's a Mercedes right there. It looks like an MA330 or 350. It's been a long time, so I forgot all this model number. That looks like an MA350 right there. See some rust here and there. That's a Hyundai. See, these are cars that should have been sent to Nigeria. You see, somebody asked me, why don't you send cars to Nigeria? You see, this here Hyundai, correct car. Oh, this is a nice car that Volkswagen T4, I'll be T4. This is a T4, I think. These are cars that should have been sent to Nigeria. See, these are cars. Guys, somebody asked me, why don't you send cars to Nigeria? It's a long story, guy. It's a long story. Isuzu. Look at this one here. It's been a long time here. Oh. Everything just left the way it is. See that? So many cars here. That's another car that could have been very, very interesting for the Nigerian road. They are all parked there. Different cars. If you come here, these are cars, even though they are rust here and there, these are things that can still be fixed. I'm telling you, because in Nigeria, the beautiful thing is that some of these cars, they can easily be fixed. See them? These are cars, oh, correct cars. Isuzu. Look at this clean one right here. See? Somebody was asking me, why don't you send cars to Nigeria? Guys, it's a long story. Over there, there's still a T4 bus. A long time ago, this was the kind of buses that we used to send to Nigeria. This one right here looks like a Mercedes Vito bus. Like I said, I must have forgotten a lot about the names of this, the model numbers, because it's been a long time, well over 10 years. This Mercedes-Benz, very clean, automatic. I don't know if you can see it right there. See this one. Look at this beautiful one here. Nice color, small, Mercedes-Benz that can be used to cruise and just enjoy. If you're a single man, single woman, this can, all messed up bed, dung here and there. Look at this nice car here. I don't know what model is this or what car is this, but you get the gist. Look at this T4. All right, look at this one here. Rusted tires, not in the best condition, but for the Nigerian road shouldn't be a problem. All right, somebody was asking me, why don't you ship cars to Nigeria? This is the reason. From this German side of things, everything appears so easy. You can easily just buy one of these cars, take them to the port, wherever you want to send them, boom, send them off. But as soon as you do that, of course, you will still experience some challenges here and there. Sometimes the cars, it takes a long time for it to finally leave the port. But give and take is not the worst problem that you can deal with. Sometimes it's hard to get somebody to drive the car. Look at this one. Oh, it's a manual gear right there. All right, leather seat, everything looking very, very clean. Even though, forget about the rust. Rust is just a little thing that can be taken off. You see, yes, you will deal with a lot of stuff, getting someone to drive the car, because some of these cars, they are no longer drivable. You cannot just start to drive them on the German road. No, it's not allowed. All right. It's not allowed. All right. But the thing is, as soon as these cars, get to Nigeria, the story pretty much changes. I'm talking about 10 years ago. If things have changed, I don't even know, or I don't even think that things have changed. As soon as these cars get to Nigeria, it then begins all the stories in the world. The agent is first going to reach out to you and try to, tell you that they are still expecting the clearing officer to come. That might take like 1 week, and finally, the agent is going to contact you and say, look, believe me, all this time you're always calling because you want to know the status of the items that you've sent. Because in some of these buses, then we used to put washing machine, TVs, DVD players, and stuff like that, kids' clothes and everything that you can think of. All right. Then the agent finally call you and begin to tell you that, yes, the custom officer said you have certain things that are not allowed to be shipped in the car. And because of that, you are naturally already on the begging side. Oh, what are the things that are not allowed? You know, you have maybe 4 tires inside the car, it's not allowed. You have some used wherever you want to use clothes, it's not allowed. So automatically you're already on the I beg, please help me. Help me because I don't want all my investment to be wasted. All right, they can help you, it's not a problem. But then begins the drama again. All right, you might not be told to go and pay some amount of money that you will even be asking yourself, if I pay this kind of money, how do I finally make a profit from this whole transaction? If you don't want to pay, it's no problem, because then you cannot get your car out, and at the end of the day, everything is just going to be wasted. So you're going to tell yourself it's already a bad situation. Anyhow, this car needs to be brought out from the custom office. All right, so you're going to look for extra money. Mind you, you've been calling, it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort. If you have a full-time job, then you're going to be super stressed, because you're going to have very little time left to call. You're coming from work, you're always driving or in the train. Please, how is it going? Is the car out? Is there any information? Boom. You're going to look for money and pay whatever exorbitant fee that you have been asked to pay. This thing is not put on paper. There is no standardized fee. You could just have a bus like this, this white Vito bus here, or this Volkswagen bus right there. You'll just be told, go and bring 400 or 500,000 to clear it. And then you'll be asking, how did you arrive at that amount? No, because the custom officer said inside the car is certain things that are not allowed, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Finally, because you do not want your blood pressure to keep rising and getting, a lot of headache, you're just going to pay the money and then thinking that everything is going to be fine. No, that's not the end of the story, because you are still going to be shocked that car is going to be brought out from the shipping company, only for you to realize that every item you have in the car has been tampered with. Because when the cars are shipped out, sometimes we kind of lock the doors, making sure the front door is normally open, but the side door, just going to show you an example of this one right here. See, the front door will be opened to enable whoever wants to come in just like that. But then what we normally do is to make sure that the side doors, like this one, the side doors are properly locked, that nobody can actually come in. And also the boot, we have a way of locking it so that nobody can come in. But I'm telling you guys, at the time the car finally comes out, like half of the important things inside the car, they've all been stolen. And then begins the drama. At what point were these things stolen? Were they in German port? Were they in Lagos port? Nobody. Was it even from the agent? The guy that, in case you do not know, an agent is somebody that is going to help you, liaise with the custom officer to bring out that car from the Nigerian port. So at this point, you do not even know where the things have gone missing. So if you had important things there, like laptops, computers, they will all be gone. So you're going to ask the agent. The agent is going to say, oh, this was how the car came out from the Nigerian Port Authority. All right. You're going to ask the Nigerian Port Authority. They will say this was how the car came from Germany. At the end of the day, you are just left at a loss. And sometimes it could be very painful. As if that's not bad enough, you now have a car that half of the content is pretty much gone. All right. But then you are saying to yourself, okay, it's already a bad situation. Anyhow, let me just take whatever is left. No, that's not all, bro. There's still a lot going on. The agent is finally going to bring out the car, and you are going to be told that car that you just, that was working here, battery, everything working. Now the car doesn't work anymore. They even changed the battery. The car doesn't want to start. They've even called the electrician to come and take a look at it. So there's something wrong with the car, that the car is no longer starting anymore. And because of that, they needed to tow the car. All this you cannot verify. And because of that, you still have to pay extra money for the car to be towed out right now, because they said the car doesn't start anymore. Because of that, you are still counting your loss. That's not the end of the story, guys. Now, if you live in Benin City like me, where I come from, it's about 3.5 hours from Lagos. The agent is going to tell you, okay, that car, I need to somehow fix it, because mind you sent money for the car to be fixed, and then take the car and drive it to Benin City, where is the final destination of the car. You see, before that car gets to Benin City, my brothers and sisters, there's going to be all sorts of stories. Police stop me on the road, You know, the little item that was still left, the policeman on the road still said, even though the car has been cleared by the Nigerian custom, you know, authorities, but the policeman on the road still said that in this car, you still had some contraband goods that are forbidden from going into Benin City. And because of that, you still have to pay more money to make sure that that car, you know, have a safe trip. And because of that, extra money is going to be spent. Mind you, you're already at a loss at the point of clearing that car because you were not able to, you know, to calculate properly the amount of money that that car would have needed to be cleared from the Nigerian port authorities. All right. Now, you now have a car that you've cleared so expensively. Content of the car is almost gone. You are paying so much money on the road to get the car drivable. Now on the highway, you need to, you know, settle or pay money to certain people that are still stopping you to just because the car is not allowed to have a safe trip. The car finally gets to Benin City, and the people that want to buy the car, let's say an Isuzu like this Grand Vitara, Isuzu, a Suzuki model, or this Volkswagen Transporter right there, or whatever car it is, they are now going to begin to price this car at a very, very low amount, an amount that even if you got that car for free, you will still make a loss at the amount they are telling you. They're going to begin to point to you that yes, there are so many rust, you know, whatever it is, blah, blah, blah. They're going to begin to say so many things, all to make you sell that car for cheap. And at the end of the day, it is very likely that that car will be sold for cheap because you won't get buyers. Take a look at that car. You see, no private person is just going to come and just buy that. That car will possibly be sold to a dealer, somebody that already has a way of, you know, making this car clean again. Ideally, this is something you can do yourself, but because you are not in Nigeria, you're not in Benin City, you are in faraway Germany, you do not have the patience more to continue to, you know, think of cleaning up the car. Sorry guys, there's a plane up there, so it's kind of messing up with the audio, but I'm just going to let it, you know, go and then continue. All right, you do not have the patience left to clean up the car and make it presentable for some private buyer to come and, you know, pay some good money. At the end of the day, you're going to say, you know what, just give me whatever is the amount you have for the car. I'm willing to sell it because I am really tired. This was what happened to me many years ago. If the situation has changed, I do not know, but it was very frustrating, and this is the reason why I just said to myself, you know what, I'm going to stop shipping cars to Nigeria. Sometimes when I see some of these cars, it's kind of very painful because these are cars that we can actually get cheap, you know, but I do not know at what point I messed up the whole thing. It's been 10 years ago. If the Nigerian Customs Service has changed, I don't know, but I'm still looking for a responsible agent that will come to me and give me a lot of motivation and say, look, I think things have changed. 10 years ago, yes, it was very, very bad, but right now, there's a standardized process for doing these things. You buy your car, as soon as it gets to Lagos, you know beforehand what amount you're going to pay for clearing the car, and whatever content you have in the car is going to be preserved. These are the photos, and you know, if the things have changed, then we can begin to think of, you know, negotiating some of these cars right here. These are beautiful cars that you can see, still looking very good, decent color conditions, engines all working because they were all brought here, and if they are defect or anything that is like broken here and there, these are things that can actually be fixed. All right, so look, right there is one still hanging right there. I don't know if you can see it right in the bush. There are so many cars here, guys, so many beautiful cars here. See, if somebody can actually assure me that yes, things have become very, very good. Look at this Terracan, Hyundai Terracan, 4-wheel drive, rusted, but it is what it is. Look, tires still inside, everything beautiful the way it is. That's the jack, the screw, or what you call it, the wheel opener or whatever it is. See, guys, it's unfortunate that it became like this. We left this business supposed to be a very big, responsible business, but it is what it is. This is what we have to deal with. So let me know what you think in the comment section. If things have changed, please feel free to write in the comment section. Let's see how we can perhaps next year or still this year begin to negotiate some of these, you know, beautiful cars right there and see how we can actually bring them to Nigeria. People are struggling, do not have money to buy new cars, but these used cars, they are not even interesting to the German government because all these cars, at the end of the day, they're going to be destroyed They are no longer cars that are roadworthy according to the German standard. But if you go to Nigeria, of course, these are cars that can still be fixed for little amount and still drivable even for a very, very long time. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Is this a business that we can still do? Where did I get things wrong in the 10 years ago? Perhaps you have a better idea how this thing can be done. I am looking forward to your comment. Let me know what you think. Until I see you again in the next video, peace out.